Noes of 59, Part 3 as amended will stand part. The question now is that Part 4 stand part. That's debate on clauses 60 through 63 to 69, and it's an amendments to the Reserves Act of 1977. I call the Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Mr Chairman, it's fantastic to be speaking on Part 4, which, as you so rightly pointed out, deals with amendments to the Reserves Act 1977. This was one of the less contentious areas within the bill. As I noted earlier, it certainly would have been our preference, as we indicated as this bill was introduced, it would have been our preference to have debated to agreement the concerns that we had and obviously concerns that other parties had as well. And I thought that the Select Committee made really rigorous efforts in that regard, and I want to commend the Chair for his behaviour and conduct of the procedure. There are obviously strongly held views on many of these issues, but unfortunately, when we got to the end of the procedure, we weren't able to agree on the fundamental points that we'd raised when the bill was introduced. The primary one was the dual decision-making, and this part here is actually one which the Minister of Conservation maintains. It's very good, and it has some automatic scheduling of reserve land into Schedule 4, and that's obviously an improvement in the existing position that the Minister of Conservation holds. But it tragically doesn't outweigh the weakening of the ability of the Minister of Conservation to make a decision in regard to minerals, whether it's exploratory drilling or mining itself. That has been discussed in earlier parts of this bill, but it is particularly relevant to Part 4 as well. It doesn't outweigh the concerns that we have about that dual decision-making. In question time today, actually, Mr Chairman, I also mentioned the comparison of the current structure of the Department of Conservation, which obviously is responsible for this Reserved Act 1977, the way that the department has now modelled itself on the Cabinet dual decision-making, where we have the Minister of Conservation and the Minister of Energy taking decisions jointly, where previously it was the Minister of Conservation's mandate. And in the same way, the Department of Conservation, in its new proposed structure, is going to have two positions of equal status. One is going to be the Chief Ranger, who is responsible for conservation issues, and another one is going to be called on the same tier of the department. The other one's going to be called the Relationship Manager, and that person will be focused on the business side of the Department of Conservation. Like most of this bill, Mr Chairman, it represents a significant weakening of the mandate and the responsibility that the Minister of Conservation currently has. That concern was only heightened when on Easter Sunday we had the Minister of Energy, the Honourable Simon Bridges, dumping a massive SOP without any consideration of referral to the Select Committee, a significant piece of work which changed the rights of protesters in regard to their opposition to any activity on the continental shelf. Mr Chairman, if you look at how many changes the Select Committee made to Part 4, which was not a contentious area in comparison with some of the others, there are significant alterations in this. There are large sections of Part 4 that have been deleted. There are significant insertions, and there obviously was a lot of debate. So how could we have had this much debate and alteration in Part 4, a comparatively uncontentious area, when the Minister, Simon Bridges, can justify dumping a significant controversial SOP on the House on Easter Sunday without any Select Committee consideration or ability to debate or change it? That is really the height of arrogance. Mr Chairman, I was very disappointed in the Minister's behaviour when he was in the chair last evening. I was very disappointed in the behaviour of the Attorney-General. I haven't actually heard the denigration that occurred towards highly respected members of our community, Dame Anne Salmond and Sir Geoffrey Palmer. But both of whom hold strong views but are very highly regarded. Damien Salmon is the New Zealander of the Year, and yet in this House, on this debate, they were treated very poorly, and I really regret that, in the same way that I regret the treatment that the Minister has given this House. So if you can compare this Part 4, non-contentious, massive alterations, with the SOP that had no consideration.
I call the Honourable Member Moana Maki.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Now, Part 4